Listen, I have an idea.
It's how I feel when you make lemonade. Whatever today has given you. 511 headaches, still call it Thanksgiving. True.
Welcome to another edition of the Super Dupa podcast. I'm your host, Rob Griggs, here with the super producer and sleepy producer, it's McMahon.
Yes. I'll be giving away secrets, man. What you doing?
I guess they would have never known had I not said anything.
That's right. I know how to fake this thing.
I see, yeah, because you were like, y'all, and you're like, like,
yes.
Jeez. Thank you for checking out the Super Duper Pod. We do not take your listens lightly. Make sure you follow us on all socials. What up, Sarah? SUPA-DUPA-POD and online at HP. I did the backwards, didn't I? I usually say it first. Whatever.
I missed it.
That's fine. See, that's how tired you are. And also follow us online at HP53productions.com for our herch and additional content such as our own Edge with the Easy Smoke and GM podcast and the Father Good podcast. May it resuscitate one day. Also, follow us on YouTube at HP53 Productions so you can see us as his wonderful hats throughout the weeks and months of the Super Duper Pod. You know what I'm saying? Got the nice South Side joint on today, representing the White
They
Sox.
need to bring these back. They didn't wear these this year.
Those are pretty cool.
I like these.
Because when they dropped, it was like, yo, these are sick, and that was kind of it. They went to those the ones you don't like, the jerseys you don't like, the city.
The Bulls.
Yeah. I like
Bulls jerseys. I don't know. I guess they've grown on me. They look good on the field. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. Hey, we recorded yesterday.
Look at y'all. Make sure you check out the Easy Smoke and GM podcast.
We got a new episode out.
A new episode.
We talked a lot of Bears yesterday. So yeah, go check it out. And Glenn was on the Give Me the Hot Sauce podcast with Stacey King and Mark Shanowski this past week. So go check that out too.
That's not enough. Look at y'all moving and grooving.
Yeah.
Got off the PTO, man. So
yes,
we got a great show for you today. Great guest. I was thinking about this, Ed. We always say we got a great guest. One day I would say, hey, this guest is crap.
We got a terrible guest.
We got a terrible guest. So,
just listen to him and you'll see how terrible he is.
Did the best we had. But now, today's guest, great guy, Jason Hayth, man, fantastic artist here in Chicago. We're going to talk more about his work and what he got going. Before we get to Jason, man, so Ed, it's about that time. School in Chicago here, CPS, Chicago Public School, starts on Monday.
I swear it feels early.
It is early. I think, some people, it used to be after Labor Day.
Right.
It's right at the Tuesday after Labor Day used to be the first day of school.
When I was in Catholic school, we started early, but when I was in public school, those 2 years, we had already played 2 football games by the time school started. So
yeah.
It's different. That's different.
Very different. But what that also means, our back to school list is, and it's like, shout out, I got 3 to buy when I roll out the streets.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a little aggressive. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Well, I mean, it's like, how many blue pens can I buy? The thing is, I realize the older my kids get, the less I buy. I'm like, it's somewhere in the house. Y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I can find a sketchbook somewhere, rip some paper out. Here you go, kids. When you first got little kids, right, you buying everything on the list to the T, stacks of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's what it is. So shout out to all the parents out there that are buying these school supply lists. I'm with you, and I should do we should do a big, large happy hour virtually or something, just for when the kids are back in school. Just, enjoy yourselves for all the money you've spent from there. But again, I want to get right to our guest, Jason Hayth. Again, you guys are gonna love this episode, and here he is today on the Super Duper podcast. Got a great guy on here, Jason Hayth, the premier artist here in Chicago. Welcome, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Man, glad you're here. Listen, you and I met at a Simple Good event for 2 reasons. One, you were doing a live painting, right?
I was.
That's pretty dope. But then you had on these crazy kicks, and I was like, hey, man, where you get your shoes? And you were like, yeah, I do these too. So you were out there flexing on everybody, like, I live paint, I make jazz,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So then we got to get you on the pod, and found out we knew a lot of the same people. And so this was going to happen regardless, man. But thanks for making the time. I know you're pretty busy. If you wouldn't mind telling people just a bit about kind of some work you're doing just right now. I know you mentioned it earlier before we started recording, but the stuff you're working on for your show you're going to.
Okay, so I got invited to show work. Someone I work with sometimes Paint the City. They're a nonprofit. They do a lot of or events, charity organization that does murals and a bunch of other stuff. So they are curating the XL Film Festival, which is this weekend. So it's a 3-day event. They're like, hey, do you have 2 dope pieces that you would like to bring? So I'm in my head, I'm like, of course I got dope pieces, but I always like, I don't know, something about bringing new stuff. And with the clientele that is going to be there at this event, I was like, let me bring in a little something extra. So right now I'm working on um these 2 pieces. It'll be 2 of 6. They're going to be titled, the series is going to be called Black Power, and each piece is going to represent a different part of uh being black in America, I guess you could say. So this one is a girl behind me. My goal is to have her done by tomorrow night. But so this one's resilience, and then the other one is perseverance, which is a guy. And then the other ones will be I haven't are hope, pride, defiant, and being bold. So it's this is different because I'm using epoxy with broken glass. You can kind of see some of the shine behind me, the texture.
Okay.
So I built the wood panel, painted in the design. I took pretty much like the molding you use for like your wall, and I used it as a frame. And then I wood out their wood cutouts. So when you look at them, they actually have like a 2D, 3D effect to them. So those are my 2 pieces. They're very much black power. Each one of the 6 has a fro that's in the shape of a black fist.
Yeah.
Just something that I feel like, and this one actually will have a black and white American flag. I kind of Googled because I saw that obviously from Outcast
Yeah.
Stankoni.
Yes.
He had
Yeah.
that the black and white
Yeah.
American flag.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is the symbolism of that? So I looked it up and it means rebellion. I thought
Oh,
so in my head, I'm
rebellion.
like, well, this fits perfectly for what I'm trying to do. And all these pictures kind of have like a late 60s or like 70s type of vibe to them. So I kind of just tied it all in together. But yeah, these are the 2 pieces I'm working on. I got one up right now that I'm painting, and the other one I just epoxy. So that one's actually curing at the moment.
Okay. And so is this so people know, like painting in this artistry, that's what you do full time. This is your main
Yeah.
job. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And see, in my homework I did, I see that I have traditional painting, sneaker art, woodworking, digital art, right? And so like, it's like you really do this for sure. And I've been having conversations with folks just about like, there's a generation of people who like maybe they were into the arts, but because of how they were raised or like they needed to get some money, they couldn't go into the arts like they wanted to, right? So they had to
Yeah.
get a square job, as Money likes to say, and but then try to do their stuff on the side,
Mhm.
right? So what propelled you to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this full time, I'm gonna make this my passion and really move forward with it?
Oh man, that's a good question.
That's what I do, man.
So I see shit. Um, all right. So what makes it easier for me to be able to focus full time on art is I actually served in the military. I was
Okay.
in the Navy. I'm a disabled vet, so I get that helps take care of some of my bill stuff that allows me to focus more on the digital, the wood cutting, or the wood carpentry, like all the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
So that makes it easier for me to be able to focus on that. But I would say what started so I've always been I was born with a talent since a little kid. I could draw, paint, all that stuff since I was a tiny little kid. I went to a really good high school that was really great at just having all different types of art courses, everything from design art to figure and portrait to sculpture to ceramics. So I've taken all of it, which kind of helped me be more multidisciplinary, like just be able to do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But at the time I was an athlete, and athletes, my dream was as a little kid was to be an NFL football player. So that was like art was very secondary. So obviously I went to college, played football, I ran track, but I battled injuries really bad. Like couldn't stay healthy, and it wore on me mentally. So I stopped playing football, focused on track, and then obviously, I mean, I was good at track, but I'm not like world class.
Mm-hmm.
So when I finished at
I ran
Western,
track in high school as well. So I know
yeah,
exactly what you mean by that statement. It's like, you understand how it goes, but those people are elite, and that's a whole other.
Oh yeah, like I mean, don't get me wrong, I was fast. Like I'm
Yeah,
by
yeah,
far faster than like the normal person, but that's not the 1% fast that you see like on the in the world, like when they run the Olympics and stuff.
yeah,
So I was like, well, this ain't gonna go nowhere. I I enjoyed it and all that stuff. So I got out. I was kind of lost to be honest. I didn't know what I want to do. I had spent so much time in making athletics my identity, being an athlete, that it took me a long time. So I stopped doing art from 2004 when I graduated high school to all the way up to like 2018.
mm,
Which actually made me start picking up and dabbling in art again is my daughter.
okay,
She always wanted like these Ninja Turtle pair of shoes, and I looked all over the internet because I was gonna buy them, and I was like, these are all trash. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
like, these look terrible. I was like, wait, let me see if I come up with something. So I bought a little pair of Converse, some permanent fabric markers,
yeah,
and I drew my daughter's favorite Ninja Turtle, Leonardo, and I left them out on the counter because my daughter was coming in town that week, I think, spring break. Anyways, and some of my friends saw them that I served with in the military, and they're like, bro, what the fuck? You could draw?
yeah, yeah,
Did you
yeah,
buy these? I was
yeah,
like, no, I didn't buy these. I did these myself. You're like, man, what are you doing? Why are you not using this talent? Why are you like, you should make this a career? And I was like, all right. At first, I was kind of like, sounds good. I had fun. So it did that experience with my little girl helped me start painting.
yeah.
Now, it took me until 2019 when I took a drawing course. He's like my best friend now. He's like my brother, but he was my professor. Omar Richardson, he's from the Bahamas.
Okay,
So just art culture in general, when you go to art class, you very rarely see a black professor
yeah,
from the Bahamas, much less with long ass dreads like down his back.
yeah, yeah,
And he had like the first exercise we did, he's like, oh, okay. He's like, man, I feel like you ain't giving me enough. So he challenged me. And I don't obviously old athletic mentality. You challenge me. I'm bringing the
yeah,
fire to
for
next
sure.
next assignment. So he's like, man, see, I knew you were bullshitting. And ever since, like, man, what are you doing? Like, you have more talent than most artists, and you aren't taking this serious. So then it really kind of hit me. I'm like, wait, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So as I started creating, I started off with shoes, and
Mm,
then I wanted more opportunities. So then I started doing um, canvas paintings, and then now I'm trying to get into murals and live paintings and all this other stuff. So it's kind of been a long journey, man. I wish I would have started this all earlier, but
yeah. It seemed like you started at the time you're supposed to, right? I think that's
yeah,
something I think about in life, right? We lament I should have started this earlier, done this a long time ago. But like a lot of times, if you'd got it back then, maybe you would have started, maybe like, put all the energy in it, you know what I'm saying? Just because you would have been
yeah,
distracted. Who knows, right? So I think, based upon the art I've seen you do, man, it's definitely seemed like you right on time. So walk me through your process, man. Like, because again, especially when I saw you at the Simple Good event you did a live painting. I think I overheard you say, 'cause I think you made it was a kid with a paintbrush and it was a sparkler or something. It was
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, yeah. But when you are at a blank canvas, right? What's your process from that to a finished piece? Like, do you just start? You got like a lot of ideas in your head, or just like
Um,
how you feeling that
I
day?
get a
How
lot
does
of
it go?
ideas.
Yeah.
The ideas start in my head before the canvas even comes into the picture.
Okay.
Now that event was a little different because it was the simple good, and I know they predominantly work with children and all that stuff. So I wanted something to tie in with that for the organization. So it was a little different than when I usually go with my process, but with that one, I'm like, all right, simple good. What is something that to me that was my simple good and it was creativity and picking up a paintbrush changed my life. So I was like, how can I capture the joy of a child and also tie it into creativity? And in my head, I was like, wait, I used to fucking love sparklers as a little kid.
Mm,
Just the awe and like the fear, because you're like, oh,
yeah.
it's gonna spark me. It's gonna whatever. And I was like, wait, that's kind of like picking up a paintbrush because
Mm.
again, I tell people in the army, they're like, oh, like they look at me like, really? I'm like, yeah, what? What? Yes. I was like, do you know how many hours of work I do? I was like, yes. I'm an artist. This is what I do. This is what my purpose is. This is what God created me to do, is to create. And yeah, so I wanted to tie that all in together, and that's why that piece came to me. Um, so I came up with the drawing. I usually come up with my drawings on my tablet, and then to save me time, so I don't have to redraw it again, I
Yeah,
use a
yeah.
projector. I tie my tablet to my projector, and I project it onto the canvas, and I just retrace my outlines.
Oh, I see.
Keep it
Okay.
simple. Save me a ton of time. But so that was how it was for that. But I typically, honestly, I get a lot of ideas from music.
Really?
Music's always a big one. I have like a list on my phone, like the Samsung Notes of like just because I like when I listen to music, because music's such been a large inspiration and something that I've always been passionate about since I was like a little kid. And the music, I get ideas very easily from music, whether it's some song talking about a certain situation that I have been through,
Hmm.
or I hear a dope ass bar like from like new JID album. Like I already got like three ideas from that.
Oh wow.
So it's like the images come in my head based off the lyrics and the music that I'm feeling. So a lot of my stuff comes from music.
Well, see, that's why I'm not a good artist like that because there was a point I was Beyonce crazy, man. I would have had all kind of Beyonce just right all across the wall, dog. So glad I do what I do. So I know. So you get it from music. Are there any recurring themes or symbols that come with your art? Like like some. I'm sure some people have a not. I won't say shtick, but like when they paint something, maybe there's always some red in it, or like it's always about a certain time period. For you, are there recurring themes or symbols in your work, or you just like depending on the idea or the music that you hear, that's just what comes out?
Oh man. Um, so you've seen most, I think, I don't know, like obviously you said you did some research.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
look for some.
a lot of my artwork is based off our culture.
Yep.
So I do that one because I feel like as a culture we've been through so much stuff, whether it's negativity you hear on the news or what we experience when we go out in the world just from other people's personal point of view. So I always try to paint things that are I'm passionate about. So whether it's music or uplifting our culture or giving you something, like I had a piece that I sold and this woman saw this piece and she stared at it for like 10 minutes. And she looks at me and she told me, and she was like, I feel so confident when I look at this piece. I feel every day that I wake up, I try to aspire to be this woman in this painting. And
Wow.
that really touched me because that's what my whole idea for that painting was, to uplift. And honestly, the painting itself was from some bullshit I heard on sorry if I'm cursing. I say,
You're good,
all
man.
right, all right. But yeah, I heard it was a woman, a black woman, got fired for wearing her natural hair at work.
Mm,
And it pissed me off because I'm like, what? How are we still doing it this day and age?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, so the whole piece, I focused, it was like it ended up being like Afrocentric piece, very uplifting, something to aspire to. I use purple and gold for royalty because that's a very typical colors for royalty.
Mm,
And then her whole hair, I put a big old fro and I used broken glass. So like the hair was like almost a centerpiece. And it was to counteract what I had saw because they made me angry
mm.
from the news thing. So a lot of stuff I do is to uplift, to inspire, to connect. And obviously every piece that I do is has a piece of me in it, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. What I appreciate about even the stories you told is like it seems like once you hear something, you immediately like put the idea down
Yeah.
in action. Because I'm sure I've had many $1 billion ideas. I'm like, that'd be cool if this happened, and then I just keep it pushing. I don't write it down or nothing. But it's like I like that you at least try to put it down and then get
Yeah.
to make it to some art because who knows? As you said, have you just let that be a fleeting thought, like you've been like, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? I hate it, and then moved along. But you don't make this piece that inspires that particular moment you were talking about. So that's all.
Yeah. And it connected to that woman who bought the piece, and then it's connected to multiple other people who've bought like prints of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And it makes me feel good because that's uh I guess my gift to the world.
yeah.
So and obviously not all my pieces are super serious. Like that was one that was inspired off some BS I heard from a news thing. Like some of them are just fun. Like Mike that we you in your last episode, we met because I had a Tupac inspired Spider-Man. painting up in
Right.
Afro Joe's near me, and he
Yeah,
saw it
yeah.
and he was like, "Hey, bro," I was like, "Man, I'm gonna need this in my shop." So it's like, hey, so like some of the stuff is just fun ways to connect and stuff that I love to paint. So
Yeah, I saw the one on your page with the Martin Luther King and the Professor X joint. Like I literally went, whoa, when I saw that on your site, man. I was like,
I got
oh
it
my
right
God.
there.
Like that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So now, so you're in Chicago. So explain to me the Chicago art scene. Because Chicago is one of those places like it's never defined by one particular thing, but you never think about arts or the art scene or even stuff like this when you think about Chicago. So describe the Chicago art scene for me if you can.
Oh man, I honestly, so I moved to Chicago. I've been here now for a year and a half. What, a year and what's August? A year
Okay.
and like a year and 6 months, year and
Yeah.
5 months is all I've been here. And the first year I was dealing with stuff with the home and stuff, so I didn't really get to do much art. But I'm still trying to figure out the Chicago art scene myself.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say because I'm still trying to figure it out, and I don't have a lot of experience. This summer is probably the busiest that I've been here since I moved to Chicago.
Yeah.
And at least I can tell you this much. I moved here from Tampa. Part of the reason why I moved is because my artwork wasn't hitting the audience and demographic that I needed to hit when I was in
Mm.
Tampa.
Okay.
Tampa to me felt very much sandy beaches, pelicans,
Yeah.
and white people, which
Mm.
and we make this clear. I will paint whatever person and I can paint any person, whether it's black, white, Asian, whatever. But my heart is in our culture. So most of my paintings do present with someone of our color, whether it's super dark to my color, light.
Mm. Mm.
But so being here in Chicago, I've noticed that there's more love and appreciation for that type of art.
Yeah.
And I've gotten more experiences and more opportunities here than I did there.
Okay.
So that's one thing I've noticed since being in Chicago is that it's much more uh geared for everyone, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did a couple shows where I was like, I have my work in the wrong spot. I was like, man, I was up in like Ravenswood, like up north.
Yeah, yeah.
This road, I'm like, yeah,
You still learn the city. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like,
I
this
got
ain't
you. Yeah,
it.
this ain't it.
I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, yeah.
and then some woman made some comment. She was like, you'd never see this in a museum. And I was like, bitch. I was like, I was like, first off, I didn't create this piece to be in a museum. I
Yeah,
could very
yeah.
easily, but just the way you said it irritated me
Mhm.
instantly. I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong. I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah. Let me
that's
pack
one thing
up.
I'm learning.
Yeah,
Certain
yeah.
areas.
Yeah, gotta learn the city. I mean, it's weird because so I'm born and raised from Chicago, but I went to school in Massachusetts 4 years, and I got friends out east, and it's like you never realize how segregated the city Chicago is
Yeah.
until you leave. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like when you come back, you see like you across the street, and it's like a completely different neighbor. Like the languages are different on the sign. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Bro,
it's
talking about that.
wild in Chicago. Yeah,
Oh, man,
man.
I went to, is it Oak Park?
Yeah.
So we were on the west side, going through the west side to get to Oak Park.
Hmm.
Literally a
Yeah.
street,
A street, whole
one
different neighborhood.
street.
Whole
The
different neighborhood.
second I crossed that street, it was like beautiful homes,
Yeah, yeah,
super clean, no
yeah,
trash. But the other side of the street, trash littered,
yeah.
stop signs look like they fell. I'm like, really? I'm like, this is how we like. I'm like, damn, I've
Listen,
seen segregated, but that's
it's wild.
it's a street that
And the
divides.
thing is, when I would have people visit, when I went to school with that lived out, never came, I would purposely like go to Michigan Avenue, like around Division, right?
Hmm.
And just drive down Michigan. So they could see the city change just on one street. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
Mag Mile, okay, downtown, big buildings, and it's like, hold on, because my home church is on Michigan, so like you slide right through there through the 50s. You know what I'm saying? This is like this is truly Chicago, right? You see from top to bottom all kinds of people, all kind of classes, money wise, everything. You see
Yeah.
it in this particular city, and I think it's not good to be segregated, right? Because I think that people end up in their own sections and they never leave, right? But I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
the way downtown is made, we all got to come. There's a natural
Yeah.
intersection that we got to have at some point, right? And so then
That's
once you start to get out of your space, you start to see how much the city has to offer. Like I think that's been the biggest thing. I used to call it South Side syndrome, where like all you did was go to the movies or just like stay on the south side. But like once
Yeah.
you see like the city is really big and has a lot to offer. And I mean, once you start bringing your style or whatever to another part of the cities, you start to broaden the city for yourself. And that's why I truly think Chicago is one of the greatest cities in the world for that particular
Oh,
reason.
I love Chicago, and I
Yeah,
moved here because of that. Because like you said, when I go downtown, I can mingle with anyone and everyone.
absolutely.
So like I have lived all over the country and moved all over. So but I consider St. Louis my hometown. St.
Okay.
Louis is just as segregated, if not more. If I go to like North County, it's black. Usually low middle class or lower. West side of St. Louis, West County, money. South side, even further south, redneck. And
Mm.
it's like everyone stays in their pockets. Like there's no like I mean, I guess you get a little bit downtown, there's like a sporting event, but it's not like a Chicago where everyone comes down there to kick it. I can hang out with all different types of class of
Yeah.
people,
Just going to
types of
work,
people.
right? Yeah, people just going to work. Anything, man. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say what the thing about like especially like a South Side. My parents moved up here from the South. Man, they lived up here. They've been married 60 years. A
Oh
couple
damn.
months ago. Yeah, it's crazy.
Goals.
It's so they've been here in Chicago 60 plus years. It's crazy because they're actually more Chicagoans than they are from Tennessee, Mississippi, which is wild.
Yeah.
But like, they'll always talk about times where, you know, they could go down 63rd or 87th or Halsted, and it'll be just people in suits and fine clothes in their
I've
communities.
heard so much about that.
Man, and it's like they are just shopping with each other, right? And like you said, like the art is reflecting just the community, and it wasn't about necessarily being separate from somebody else. It was just more like this is our community, and we want to love it and cherish it, man. I mean, a lot of times my pops would be driving, he'll go, man, there used to be all kind of stores here, son. It would be,
Yeah.
it's like it just was, and I could see the pride in his face
It
and his
was
chest puffing up because it was like, man, it was beautiful down here. It was
and
lovely.
I've heard stories and like I've heard other artists that I look up to that I follow and stuff who
Yeah,
are from Chicago talk about like this used to be like almost like a Black Wall Street down there.
yeah,
And it's just sad to see what happened to it. And then obviously I think it's getting better again, but
yeah.
it is just crazy to me. Like I would love to do historic paintings of like what it was back in the day. Like I think that'd be fun to do.
That would be cool. I think people will love that because I feel like people, especially Chicagoans and the younger generation, need to remember that. Like that's how the city used to be, and
Yeah.
it wasn't just when you go downtown. It's nice. It's like, and I think that's why I love the Bronzeville development, right? Development
Mhm.
that even doing in the Inglewood and in different places. It's like this is where we live and this is where we hang out and go for most part. So let's make it the good. You consider the
Yeah.
good part of town. Like every part of the city is a good part of town if you make it so. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, man. But it's good to hear that the scene is encouraging because you hear like a lot of times in music they don't love Chicago rappers like they used to. Well, that's more old school, but it's
Man, what
good.
you mean? I grew up with Chicago rappers. Common.
But they always say they don't
Well,
love you at home. They hard on you
right?
at home. You got to go outside to get love, man.
Yeah.
So being a painter itself, right? So I'm on like every time I see a movie and a dude's a painter, right? He live in a loft. You know what I'm saying? He walk around with the shirt off all day, like he just got paint everywhere. Just that's the painter look. You know what I mean? That's the
Man,
painter
that
vibe.
sounds like that Tyler Perry movie.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He'll drink nothing but wine and orange juice, right? Every time that's all he got to drink. He got no food, just wine, orange juice, and he'll eat.
That's all you need.
He up all day. That's all he do, man. But tell me, what's the biggest misconception that people have about being a painter or an artist like you are?
Misconception. Oh
Like
man.
I'm sure people see stuff and I'm sure you've heard, oh, I could do that. I think it's easy because it's like you knocking it out. So
So I guess the biggest misconception is that they see a painting like, oh, that's a pretty piece, and then they just judge it off what they're seeing.
mm,
Most painters or most artists in general paint from their experience, life experience, emotions, feelings. So one of the hardest things that I've learned as an artist, and it's actually made me more confident and more comfortable being uncomfortable, is that every piece that I put out is like putting yourself out to the world to get judged and exposed.
mm,
Like when you put a piece out, people look at it. I've had people, like I said, sit in front of my painting for 10 minutes. I've had people take a glance and keep walking. So it's like, and I've had people be like, like that's stupid. You never see that at museum. And
Right.
so it's like you have to get comfortable being critiqued. You have to be comfortable being, well, some constructive criticism, some is not constructive, some is just whatever. And then that like so like this piece behind me, I have spent nonstop for the past week and a half, probably about 10-hour days. So I've between the two pieces, probably 70, 80 hours.
Wow.
So people don't realize how much work actually. My wife didn't even know how much work goes into systems until she saw me started. Like when we got together, I really started getting into a hardcore,
Yeah.
and she's like, "This is so much more work than what people think when they see just a pretty piece or a
Sure.
painting."
Sure.
Like, so I think the misconception is that we just create shit in an hour. Like, I mean, and some people do. There's some painters that paint super quick and they're done in 2 hours. I'm
Yeah.
not one of those.
Right.
My pieces usually average 30 hours a piece. So I don't know. And I feel like sometimes we're so instant gratification
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and they see stuff at like Target. You could buy a painting from Target for 30, $40. That I mean, that's one that's mass produced. You never know who the artist actually did it, and they think, no, oh, so Target gets it for $40. Why can't I buy this for $40 from you?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I got bills to pay, family to feed,
Sure. Sure.
and and how would I tell? It's like, how would you feel if I went to you? You worked a 40-hour work week, and I pay you for an hour of it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
So
very Yeah, and that's cool too. I think to your point, you have to be willing to get your value from your work, right? Because
yeah,
I'm sure it's easy. I'm sure you can sell a bunch of pieces for a discounted cost just to say you sold them and get them out, right? But it's like this is value. Has a certain value to it, right? And
yeah,
I gotta get that value. That's or to your point, all the work that I've done means nothing at this point, right? And you gotta have to fight for your value.
yeah. You have to fight for your value. You have to have confidence in your value. Um, And in my head, I'm thinking, what is it? Fat Joe, today's price is that, or is
Yeah,
it yes?
yeah.
What's that? How's it go?
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
yesterday's price is not today's price, and so like the painting I'm charging now might be a good chunk of money,
sure, sure.
but 10 years from now, I'm hoping two things: that painting I just did, to do it again, costs way more.
Yeah,
Secondly, the painting you bought me now has gained value based off my hard work and my work ethic and what I do in this art world. So it's like you are investing not only in the piece for emotional connection and also maybe decorated for your house, you're also investing in peace because now you know this painting will be worth 5 times as much 10 years from now.
yeah, yeah.
So
So,
I look at art as an investment.
so let me ask you, because I know people. I got people who are investing in art, right? And they faking like they know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So like what so when people are buying art, like what should they look for? Should it just really be like buy what you like, or should it be like look? Because like you said, it is an investment. I agree with you. Like you're not just buying it just because it's pretty. Like you hoping at some point the value of it exceeds. So what should people look for when they're considering buying art?
uh so I guess what I would look for, I guess, would be emotional connection to the piece,
Yeah.
whether it makes you feel inspired or makes you just something fun that you enjoy, like a shared passion. I would also look for how consistent is that artist that you're buying from? Does he do a show like
Mm,
once every few years, or does a piece every once in a few years, or does he do stuff consistently? And does he keep putting out new work and keep doing different opportunities in that? That mean if you see that, that means he's hungry, he has passion, and he's gonna do something with himself. Um, so I feel like those are big things you need to look for. And obviously, if you vibe with the person,
yeah.
I know I've sold artwork just based off the relationship I gained from that, or not gained, but like connected with that person. Like we're talking, we're vibing, and like, oh man, this is a dope dude. That would make you much more likely to buy something from me than if I'm standoffish, arrogant, or whatever. I feel like a lot of times what I've started to learn too is when I do the art shows, events, that people connect with me,
Mm,
which then makes them connects to artwork even more.
That's cool. That's cool. And I can say that, man. Like telling you, you weren't like a standoff artist. You were like just talking with people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I thought that, and to your point, people were having questions about the
Mhm.
painting. I think also we were at a wasn't it was a people were bidding on your art. I think they were low key trying to get you to give it to them on the low that particular day.
Oh yeah, no. I'm like, this ain't even going to me. Like, I'm not even making money off this.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like- so yeah, people were. I mean, again, people people will come up to me like, hey, could you do like you see, I do shoes.
yeah,
Honestly, that's probably my biggest custom item. Like people ask me commission wise is shoes.
yeah.
Um, and hey, could you do these pair of shoes? This idea. I'm like, first off, that's way too many ideas to put on one shoe.
Sure, sure, sure.
Secondly, they'll be like, could you do for 150? Fuck no. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not
Yeah,
working for slave labor.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, I'm like, and I understand, like, oh, it's a pair of shoes. But
yeah.
like, I have spent 60 hours on one pair of shoes before.
Wow.
And it's like my time is the most valuable thing to me.
Yeah,
And if you're telling me, oh, I'll give you $100, that means you don't value my time, which means I'm not gonna use my time on doing something for you. And then some people honestly just don't know. So I'm not gonna say everyone are jerks about it. There are jerks about it, but some people just don't know the work why it goes into a pair of shoes or a
yeah,
canvas painting or something. So honestly, that's part of the reason why I started doing my like YouTube channel is just for the simple fact that it gives the person a better understanding of what I do to
yeah,
get to that final step of what you see.
yeah. That makes sense. So, because I think I think that's also a big misconception we talked about before. Like, this takes a lot longer than you think, right? It's
Yeah.
not just a couple marks on a shoe. This is a really big deal that's going on right
Yeah, I mean the shoe,
now.
like you gotta prep it because
Yeah,
otherwise the paint don't stick. It could easily crack off, wear off,
mm,
chip, whatever. So you gotta prep the shoe, and then obviously, do I have a shoe right here? Oh no, it's over there. Um, you gotta like paint the edges. You gotta lay out the shoe. There's so much more because a canvas is just a flat surface. Like you have the whole thing, you can see the whole thing. A shoe is like, all right, how do I want this side to connect with this side? It's a whole 3D object, so it's a lot more design wise and thought process sometimes to doing a shoe. And I'm working in an area that's like what
close. Yeah,
max
yeah,
5 inches,
yeah,
like if you got a, like a high or a mid.
yeah,
So it's definitely a different than, and then you gotta like after you prep, you gotta paint, and then if you gotta know how to paint because if you put too heavy of paint, like layers, it'll crack, it won't last. And then if you put too little, it won't crack, it won't last. So and then you
yeah.
gotta like can't overbrush it because then you'll see brush marks in the shoe. It's a lot to it. It's way more than people think. So
And
um
people want their $150 worth. So,
and there's there's artists who do it, which
yeah,
one, if they're doing it for $150, you gotta question the quality of the work. And two, a lot of artists struggle with pricing their own stuff.
yeah,
So they will do what should be like a $800 pair of shoes, they'll do it for 200. So they're shortchanging themselves and then giving false expectations to someone else thinking that everyone does it for $200.
right. And that messes up the game, right? Because then
It
it's like
does.
it's not how.
That's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
man, I've learned so much stuff. Even like art shows. When I do art show, if I see a bunch of paintings that are like $300-$400 for originals, I'm probably not doing it again because I mean, you ain't getting an original painting less than me for less than a couple $1,000s.
yeah,
That's like the bare. So it's like you gotta value yourself, but also put yourself in a crowd where everyone values themselves the same way. So like if I have a $5,000 painting, I want to see either something close to it, 2, 3,000 or higher on both sides,
I
not
got you.
just because they don't understand because some person might be like, oh, yours is 5,000, but why is this one next to you $500?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's kind of like, yeah. And then obviously they don't understand. So
Yeah. So how do you learn that though? Is it just like going through different shows or just talking to people in the industry? Like how do you know?
different shows, talking to people in the industry, being a student of the game.
Yeah,
I am constantly learning from other artists who either been doing it much longer than I have much more experience, or who've, I guess, made it to where I want to be. So I learn from them. I watch YouTube videos. I talk to I think just because I'm an athlete and have so much life experience, just like moving around, military, college sports, being uh biracial, just so many different things that I feel like I don't get scared when I meet people, and I don't. It could be like the world's most famous artist. I'm still gonna go over there and talk to him, pick his brain. I don't get intimidated. Like that's just not
Yeah.
how I operate. I see someone who is thriving and who is a world-renowned artist. That's my goal one day. So I'm always like, I want to go talk to him. I want to see what I can learn from him, see what I can pick up. So it's just some artists get intimidated. Some artists are afraid to put their work up next to someone else's, and that's not me. I'll put my work up next to Picasso's. They might
Yeah.
not appreciate it as much, but I don't really care.
Oh man. Listen, man, a couple more questions before we get you out of here, man. So
Yeah, no problem.
what's one tool or material that you can't live like that has to be in your studio if you're gonna do some work? Like what's something like no matter what, this gotta be in there.
Oh man, Tool?
Well, tool, material, whatever.
Uh, I'm going. I hate saying this because I'm gotten so accustomed to using my tablet for drawings
Yeah, yeah.
because it's
I
so much
figured I was
quicker.
like, he's gonna say like a tablet. I was thinking that too.
But I really honestly have been hardcore thinking about at least spending more time going back to paper and pencil. There's something about having that foundation of paper and pencil that makes it so much, I don't want to say much more challenging, but also much more prepared. Where like a tablet, if I mess up, oh, I drew this too big.
Yep.
Like you can instantly
Yeah,
shrink it
yeah,
down,
yeah.
and it becomes sometimes a crutch. So, but I mean, I use my tablet a lot. It's either my tablet or my computer because I do a lot of digital stuff just because of my graphic design degree. So,
Yeah. Last question, man. If you could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, who would it be?
living or dead?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got two.
Okay.
They're at completely different ends of style too. Rembrandt.
Ah,
He was one of my favorite painters from like the Renaissance era.
yeah. Any particular
Uh,
reason why?
I just loved his style. The way he painted, the dramatic way he painted, he had very like dark darks, and white like highlights. So they very contrast. And I like to contrast my work pretty heavily when I paint. And then another one is it's Ernie Barnes, the Sugar Shack. You ever seen
Okay.
that one?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen that one.
The
Yep.
Marvin Gaye front
Yeah, yeah,
cover.
yeah.
That artist. And what's cool about him is he used to be a football player. I think if I
Wow.
remember correctly, he played in the NFL for a bit,
Okay.
and then he became a painter. And I'm like, I could like this
You
just
vibe. You gotta
kindred
talk about
spirits. Like
abstract.
I got you. So and I always loved his style. His style is amazing, and it's very different than mine because he's much more uh abstract,
Mhm.
and I'm more of a realism. But I would like to get more into abstract and kind of dabble in what I paint. So I feel like those two would probably be big ones for me.
Man, that's cool, man. And Jason, I appreciate you giving us the art one-on-one lesson and on
Yeah.
the art as well for sure. So listen, give the people your information so they can find you online, find your website, all that stuff, so they can look at your paintings and buy
Uh,
some.
yeah, of course. Even as prints, so I create in tiers. I go
No
like
doubt.
high end stuff like this, and then I do digital artwork, which like the Martin Luther King thing you saw.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
mean, those I sell for cheaper because I like to create art for everyone and of all different, I guess, social classes, I guess you could say.
Yep.
But all right, so my Instagram is j.height, like as in tall, art. My website is jheight.com, and my YouTube channel is jheight creates.
No doubt, man. Yo, good luck at the show this weekend. And again, good luck with everything. Please let me know the next time you got some shows. We'll promote it on the pod here and send it out there. And I'll make sure to come out too.
Yeah,
And check out your
I actually have
stuff.
another simple good one coming
Okay.
up.
Okay.
They have it at the am I saying it right? The Emily Hotel.
Wait, is that coming up? I think that's in
Yeah, I don't
that's
know. I
September,
don't know if
right?
there's a date yet. I've been waiting to hear a date myself. I got to get them my headshot. But
Shout out to my friend Shipper. She's on the board of the Simple Good, man. I know she invites me to the
yes,
events that they have, man. So I think I might see you at the same event. If I'm thinking if it's the
yeah,
same.
I have a. I mean, it's a 40 by 40. It's a 48 by 48 painting, so it's 4 feet by
Oh,
4 feet. So it's a
wow.
big painting.
Okay.
They actually had to call Uber Black to come pick it up because my car can't fit it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's
it's a
crazy.
huge piece. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. It again ties into like the imagination and like a child painting, but it's I don't know. I've showed some people, or a few people saw it, and they're like, "Whoa, this is serious." I was like, I appreciate it.
And listen, man, and I admire you just stepping into your passion, leaning into it. Because again, I try to tell people who do that, who I see do that how much I'm proud of them because I know it's not easy to do, and it
No,
goes and it's
no.
because I know it. I think people probably see you now like, man, he's selling paintings for XYZ dollars. I can do, but I'm sure the beginning wasn't as easy. So again,
No, I mean it's still tough now, even
yeah,
now. Like, yes.
yeah, yeah.
But I think
That's
that's
sticking to it. But go ahead.
no, I appreciate that because I feel like we need to promote that more.
Yeah.
I think people have been so stuck on a real job, a
Mhm.
9 to 5, where
Yeah.
everyone hates it. Like, follow your passion and grow it, sacrifice for it. Because I think in the long run, it's a much more uh, satisfying way to live your life than working for the man and making him more money and he pays you cents on the dollar.
Yeah. And I always say too, if it's something you love and enjoy, you'll work on it 10 hours a day, 15
Yeah,
hours. You know what I'm saying? It's just because to you, it's not work. You're just doing what you love. You know what I'm saying? The reason, and I tell people all the time, it's a job because they got to pay you to go. You know what I mean? That's if they had to
yeah,
pay you, right? That's the only reason you go because they're paying you to go, right? But
that's true.
and even I would tell folks that when I would talk to some kids that were going to high school, and they would be like, I want to do this degree because I want to be this. I said, honestly, you don't know what you're going to be when you leave, right? I said, you might as well, when you're in college, study the stuff you like because that's the stuff you're going to study. You know what I mean? You're going to try to learn more about it and dig into it deeper. And I mean, I know all kind of people with like an art degree that run hedge funds or like, that finance they do, you know what I'm saying? So that it's just a matter of just getting the habit, like you said, do what you enjoy and do what gives you that passion, like you said, that your God given gift and talent. Because we all got one. He plays something in all of us to do,
Yeah.
right? Unfortunately, like you said, we trying to get to a job or a certain dollar, and it's
Well,
like,
yeah, society pushes us into these 9 to 5 jobs because they think that's the only way to pay bills. And
yeah,
honestly, there's so many different ways of doing it now. I mean, you have social media, you have create your own YouTube channel, podcast. Like, there's so many different ways now to get your work out there for people to see that, or whatever your skill is, for people to see and pay for that. You don't have to do a 9 to 5. Yeah, is it always easy? No, entrepreneurship is more than a full-time job.
yeah.
But again, it doesn't always feel work. Now, there's days where I'm like, I don't feel like picking up this paintbrush, but I
Yeah.
do it
Like,
anyway.
where's the
But
where's the man at? You got a 9 to 5, man?
yeah, there are times I'm like, man, I wish I could just go and check out and just because like when
Yeah,
you work a 9 to 5, when you check out, it's done.
yeah, well,
My
yeah,
head, I'm like, I'll probably be up until midnight painting. Like, so,
no doubt,
but
no doubt. But again, Jason Height, thank you for joining us, sir. Make sure you guys follow him and check him out.
yes, I appreciate you having me on here. It
Hey
was,
man,
I
thanks,
enjoyed it.
man. Appreciate you joining us, sir. Yeah, and one thing, my man Jason Hyde for joining us is, he's a friend of our last guest, Mike Davis. So it's kind of cool to have these guys on the episode and on the podcast. I mean, enjoy talking about art. Have you ever been an artist? You ever thought about doing art before? Was that ever you ever try that, man?
Never. I was not given that talent.
Mm-hmm.
Or I maybe wanted to be. I wish I
Yeah,
had it, but no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I knew very early on that yeah, art wasn't gonna be my thing.
Man,
So
I didn't mention it to Jason, but it was a guy, one of my best friends in grammar school. Shout out to him named Gerard Wallace. And I mean, he was great at drawing. And one day, and he wasn't, math was just wasn't his thing. It didn't matter because he was a great artist. But one day, he drew himself shrugging to the question, right? And the teacher gave him the point because it was like, this picture looks like you. You know what I'm saying? He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's what he drew. He's getting the points anyway, man. That's pretty dope. So shout out to all the artists because you feel like, it's weird. Like art is a lost art of all things, right? You know what I'm saying? People forget that these things matter, man, and people just have natural God-given talent to create and build. And I just hope we don't snuff that out of the world, especially when we talk about this Allen Iverson, right? And just how things
Mhm.
become so automated. So let's keep arts in schools and let us all like continue to find our art, be it music, be it media, be it, painting. So you gonna say something?
Oh no, I was just thinking you
Okay.
brought that up, and I was talking to a graphic artist, and we were
Mm,
talking about AI, and the person I was talking to, he's not all that all concerned, too concerned about AI and what he does as a designer. So
because nothing beats live art, man. It just
yeah.
doesn't. Again, as we talked about in the interview, I met Jason. He was doing a live painting. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, and so it's like AI can't do that. It's just that's just never gonna go away, man.
Right.
And so, guys, next week, Dr. Williams is going to join us because it's crazy out here. I mean, Trump wilding. It ain't been a year, Ez. This dude,
This has been
it ain't even been a year.
It's been the longest.
Wow.
What's it been? 8 months.
I mean, who knows what next January gonna look like? But Dr. Williams, we talked about it. He might be on more just to make sense of all this stuff. So, guys, check us out next week with the one and only Dr.
You gotta ask him about what's going on in DC. He's in that area, right?
Yeah, he is.
So he's. I'm
that's
sure he has some personal.
And it's funny. The last couple of weeks, Dr. Williams himself has hit me and been like, "Hey, man, I need to jump on the pod with you.
Yeah,
it's getting wild out here." You know what I'm saying? So definitely gonna have him on next week. So thank you for checking out the Super Duper Pod. We do not take your listens lightly. Make sure you follow us on our socials: SUPA, DUPAPOD. What up, Sarah? And online at HP53productions.com. Also follow us on YouTube where you can like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a neighbor that the pod is dope. Make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. As I miss anything?
No. This was, man.
I know. Rode right through it.
Yeah.
This was sleep, man. This is the Supa Dupa Podcast.
That's champagne, real pain, champagne from you and I. Wait, you alive? Now that's champagne if you was I. Would you be off on this campaign? Is it suicide? If you know that bringing hope here is how careers die. Or do the K stand for kamikaze? The J silent is everywhere, you can feel them probably. Surely, lately, I've been up late with demons in my basement trying to get me to hate this. Life thinking I should be further and then I choke up. As soon as I got silent, then the truth spoke up. They said, how you know you ain't perfect? Let that soak up and soak